Welcome back to another daily dose of vitamin D3. This is going to be a good dose. It's going to be a big dose, and it is going to be a hard pill to swallow today. But we got to talk about it. We absolutely have to stop hustling so that you can start succeeding. And if right now you are in hustle mode, and you are wearing the hustle hard badge of honor like many of us have in the past and like many of us still do. If you are trying to build a business but you realize it's not a sustainable way to go about it by hustling, or if you think that hustling is going to get you there, then I've got some good news and I've got some bad news for you. Okay, which one do you want first? I'm going to give you the bad news first. The bad news is that if you think hustling 24/7 is the way to secure the bag, is the way to succeed in your business and in life, if you think hustling hard is going to get you to the dream, your goals, your aspirations, if you think that's what it is and that's what it takes to achieve more, I am here to tell you that is incorrect, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to explore what you actually could and should be doing. And the first thing I'm going to recommend is what I always recommend, and that is to unsubscribe from hustle culture. Because hustling hard, hustling at all, staying in hustle mode causes headaches, hassles, and health issues, and it will hospitalize you because you will be too busy being busy. You will be bogged down with busy work, and you will be burned out, and you will stay broke. Okay? Like I said, I'm coming in swinging. I'm coming in hard because let me tell you something. Too often, women, entrepreneurs, especially, where are my ladies at? It's no other way to break this to you gently, okay? I promise you, there's a better way. When we're running and operating our businesses in a sustainable way, we have to be well aligned with the bigger goal, okay? Gone are the days where you have to listen to those horrific messages that are spewed out into the internet universe, that you hear often online, that you've got to sleep when you're dead, that you got to go hard or go home, that you got to, yes, you want to be in it to win it, but you don't have to do it in a way that is misaligned with your core values, nor do you need to be misaligned with your goals. Okay? I'm promising you, there is a better way. But if you don't stop this now, you're going to look up a year from now, 6 months from now, 3 to 5 years from now, and you're going to wonder why you're still in the same place, but worse off. This is not how you get ahead, is to hustle hard, okay? And it is misaligned with our feminine energy. Okay, these messages are typically coming from the male-dominated world where they're filled with a lot of testosterone and they got that hoorah kind of in your face with it. No, we ain't doing that because we are women. Most of us at this big old age, we are wanting to design a life with ease and grace, and we want to work freely and flow effortlessly in our feminine energy, and we want to get to securing the bag without all of that drama, without all of that karma, without dealing with the trauma, because that is a trauma-related response that brings nothing but drama into your life and keeps the karma coming and coming and coming. You will never get rid of it if you stay in the hustle mode and hustle culture, believing the messages that that constantly you're hearing out there, because that is not good for our health. Number one, it is not good for us mentally, physically, spiritually, at all. So leave that for the young folks, okay? If that's what they want to do. Leave that for the young folks if that's what they want to do. Somebody says unmute. Well, I'm not muted. So my mic is off. Check your mic. Something must be going on your end, but I'm not muted. Okay. So here's the thing. Hustle culture is a trap. It is a lie. Okay? Yes, I'm going to tell it like it is, okay? I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because it's what you're familiar with, and it's what you've been taught, and it's what you've been brainwashed to believe is the way, and is the only way, or the predominant way to get to your dream. The hustle culture, whether intentional or not, is killing women. And I'm serious. I'm talking from the perspective of someone who knows what burnout feels like firsthand. And I'm talking to you as a holistic business coach and an RN health and wellness educator. This is the work that I do. I am a registered nurse, and when I was working at the bedside, I cannot tell you the countless number of women that were in the hospital thinking they were having a heart attack or a stroke. And the reality is that their anxiety and their stress levels were through the roof. So I don't mean figuratively they're killing themselves, although yes, that's true. I mean, women are literally killing themselves to have a better life. And it's not necessary, contrary to popular belief. I am not stuttering or stammering or fumbling or bumbling or stumbling over my words. I said what I said. Okay? You do not have to hustle. I'm going to say that till I can't say it no more, till I'm purple in the face, because I need you to hear me and hear me clear. There is a better way. There is an easier way. And like I said at the beginning, I know this is going to be a hard pill to swallow. Go on and get you your big gulp of water right now and keep it, do what you got to do to keep that pill down. Because I'm a truth teller and I'm going to give it to you straight, no chaser. Okay, and this is not about sugarcoating ish over here. So let's tell the truth and shame the devil so we can stop doing what's unnecessary. Now, I do want to say that it is a pitfall to hustle nonstop, because you can never come up for air and breathe. Okay? You'll never come up for air and breathe. You'll never have time for yourself. You won't have time for your family. You will have a poor quality of life. You will not live the lifestyle that you are attempting to design. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there is a more strategic approach we have to learn how to take. In business, it's about less being more, not us doing the most. See, right now, you are working on a lot of different side hustles and side gigs, right? I use those words interchangeably. They're really one and the same to me, although I typically will say side gig or side business because I am anti-hustle, anti-stress and struggle. I am all about pro-health and happiness, period, okay? That's what we're doing over here. However, I do use those terms interchangeably sometimes because it's what you understand. It is what's most used. But if you don't want to stay broke, if you don't want to stay in busy mode and burn out, then at some point you're going to have to make a real decision to truly be the boss of you, to truly level up and do what CEOs do. CEOs don't hustle, honey. They hire help. That's number one. Okay? They don't hustle. They hire help. That's a whole bar right there. That's the whole gem I dropped. Okay? Put a fire emoji in the chat or a gem emoji in the chat if you're getting what I'm giving and you love these gems I'm dropping. Go ahead and leave a comment in the chat right now or in a comment in the replay so we can get this discussion popping, because I want to know if you are someone who is unsubscribed from the hustle, or if you recently subscribed to the hustle, or if you think that the hustle is the only way to get to where you need to go. Drop a fire emoji in the chat if you're feeling what I'm saying, and leave me a comment and let me know. Okay, I want to know where you are right now, because I do know that I am meeting a lot of women where they are, and where a lot of women are stuck right now. They've got a gazillion trillion things going on, trying to make a better way for their future. And I get that. Okay. But just because that is what you've been taught and that's what you're doing, doesn't mean it is the right approach or the only way. So yes, you might be making a bag over here, doing your coaching and consulting services. And then you're over here doing a little bit of real estate on the side. And then you're over here and you're selling plates on the weekend because you could cook a mean meal, or you could bake a nice cake or some cupcakes or whatever. And then you're over here selling beads for your waist, or bundles of hair, or eyelashes. And then you're over here and you're doing esthetician work, and you making that change. You making it pop. You bringing in the coins. Yes, but when do you have time for yourself? None of those businesses are related. You're doing MLM or multi-level marketing over here. Then you're selling these products over here that has nothing to do with your business. Then you're doing a little bit of coaching in over here. Then you're tapping in, doing a little bit of gig work over here. You're door dashing on the weekends, and at night you're doing hair. Like, really? That just exhausts me saying all of that. That stresses the hell out of me. That just raised up my level of anxiety. That just really depressed me for you. And this is no judgment zone, sis. This is not about me judging you. I know what it feels like. I've been there. I've done the thing. That's how I'm able to talk about it so candidly. But when do we get honest with ourselves and say, you know what, self? This ain't working for me. I don't like the way this feels. This can't be my life. There's got to be an easier way. Like, when do we get to the point and speak truth to power? When do we get to that point? When do we say that this is not okay and I'm not okay with this? When? That decision should be today. We've got to make a solid decision so we can take the right actions. Because that's what CEOs do. We are solid decision makers. We are fast action takers. But we take the right action, and we are clear, very clear and very laser focused on our goals to the degree that no one and no thing, no entity, nobody will take us off course, because we know what we know, and we know what we've got to do, what activities we need to be working on, what strategic moves we need to make, real money moves like a real boss. And that does not include anything that's going to make us busy, bogged down, burnt out, and broke. Do you feel what I'm saying? Okay. So I want to talk about how you can move away from being the Jill of all trades. You know how they say the jack of all trades? But since I'm talking to my ladies, the Jill of all trades, the master of none. That's a real saying, right? We've heard that for years. Why? Because that's what many of us do instead of focusing on the one thing. First, I'm not saying that you can't ever branch off to other things. Okay? Someday, yes, you can do the other things you love. If you want to start a clothing line, if you want to have a perfume or makeup line, if you want to, sell the hair or whatever you do, or have a business where it's dealing with hair, if you want to deal with real estate, those are all great things. That's perfect. But do you got to do them all right now when you haven't even mastered the one thing? You haven't even honed in on your craft. You haven't even mastered that yet. See, a real boss move, a real CEO knows that they've got to be laser focused, zoned in to their zone of genius. And that is all they're working on. They understand that they've got to stay in their lane and do that thing until the wheels fall off. When you have mastered your craft and you are making real money, good money, your business is sustainable. You're bringing in the clients. Your cash is flowing. Okay? Then and only then should you be considering branching off to other things, but still not necessarily to all of these other non-related industries, because that's going to bring you back to hustle mode. Because here's an example. I run 2 businesses right now. Okay, real life. But I didn't start my other business, and it's in real estate. And I have a real estate background. I've done real estate before. I've been a real estate investor for years. I teach other real estate investors I coach them. I consult with them. So I know this is my lane. But when I was starting my online coaching and consulting business, Shared Visions by Couture, which is what I'm doing now, primarily, which is what I've been doing for the last 9 years, I didn't do anything at all that was non-related to that business. Okay? So when I started that business, I took that seriously, and I studied my craft, and I mastered that until I can replace my high salary job, my high figure income in the workforce, so that I can transition out fully, replace my income, and run my business full time. So now I own and operate a business for 9 years, but it could not have been successful if I was doing all the things, wearing all the hats, and pulling out every bag of tricks that I had up my sleeve. Like, it doesn't work that way. We can't be successful that way. And if we are, then we're not putting our health first. We're not putting our family first. Because let me tell you, what I can promise you is that you are going to be putting everything and everybody on the back burner to make it work, if that's how you decide to go about it, right? If you just are hell-bent on the hustle, you're going to be neglecting your own needs and that of the people who you care about and love the most. Somebody's going to suffer. Somebody's going to get the short end of the stick, because you can't have it all, do it all, and be it all. Not if you're doing not if you're doing all of that. There's no way, because you're only one person, and there's only so much time in a day. There's only 24 hours in a day. So how are you allotting those hours? You can't be focused 100% on one thing. You've got to divide yourself. You got to divide your time. You got to expend your energy. Something is going to consume you, right? And with each business comes its own set of problems. So you'll be putting out fires in one area, and then you'll be putting out fires in another area, because you've got 2 different entities going on that are non-related. See, I didn't get back into the real estate game until I had success with my first business. Okay? And this is a business I'm running with my son. See? And we are actually in the midst of hiring a team soon. Will be, haven't yet, but we will be. Okay? Because I understand my capacity. I know my bandwidth. I know what my goal is ultimately. I know what it means, how a team is going to help me. I understand the power of people, human resources, right? So I'm going to delegate and automate areas of that business just like I delegate and automate the areas of my primary business, which is my online coaching and consulting firm. You feel what I'm saying? So I understand what I'm able to do. It doesn't matter how much determination and grit you have. It doesn't matter about your wherewithal and your stamina and endurance. None of that matters. Despite your age, even if you still got it, you ain't got nothing to prove, girl. Take that same energy and do other things with it. You know, at this age, over 40 years old, over 50, in your 60s, we're about embracing ease, hun. Okay? That's what we want ultimately. So why on earth would we keep killing ourselves and running ourselves to the ground and giving ourselves an early grave? We're here to lead a legacy, not write an early obituary. We don't need nobody to speak at our eulogy this soon, do we? We still young at heart at least, right? And young as far as I'm concerned in numbers too. Our age really ain't nothing but a number at this point in life. So we get one chance, one shot at this thing. Why not do what really makes us happy and do it on our terms? Why we got to do it hard? Right? And I know that's weighing heavy on your heart right now. I know I'm all up in your head right now because I know you're thinking it. You might not necessarily be courageous enough to say it out loud, but that's why I'm saying it for you. That's not a lot of people in the industry that's willing to normalize this conversation, but I'm willing to do that. I know what the messages are. I know what they're saying, but I'm here to tell you something different. I'm here to show you a new way. And I'm here to promise you that if you keep this up, you're not going to be around long enough to really enjoy the wealth that you're making your best effort to build. You're not going to be around to enjoy your legacy or even to long enough to build your legacy the way you'd like so your family can appreciate all the work you did and the fruits of your labor. If you don't stop now, I promise you, you will end up in the hospital. I promise you. Because the body and the mind can only take so much. We are about holistic wellness over here. And that's what we need to focus on. Holistic wellness. That means you need to be good up here. You need to be good in your heart space, in your mind, right? Mentally, physically, spiritually, socially, financially, sexually, nutritionally, in your relationships. You need to be holistically well. So yes, I am saying this out loud so that we can start to have different conversations. Okay? So that we can take care of ourselves the way we need to be taken care of, because if we don't do it, then who's going to do it for us? We've got to be role models to our children and to our grandchildren and to the people who love and care about us. We've got to, break the so-called norms as to what the standards are today. We've got to raise the bar. And we can't do that by following what society tells us to do and go by what societal standards and norms are. Let's break those chains. Let's break those barriers. Let's not be okay with the hustle no more. Okay? Let's not be okay with the hustle anymore. I'm going to tell you this right now. This is another hard pill to swallow. Like I said, keep the water coming, okay? But the truth is, if you are insisting on hustling, that's because you are operating from a scarcity mindset. You are not operating from a place of abundance. You are operating from a scarcity mindset, not from a place of abundance. You are operating from desperate energy, not from a place of ease and grace. Now let that simmer while I take me a sip of my water. I know, girl, I know. I know it's hard to hear, but it's the truth. It is the truth. You have to take aligned actions that yield better results. Okay? So I gave an example earlier how I have two businesses. Non-related, yes, but I am set up for success in both of those businesses. So it's not a problem. But I waited until I was in my 8th year before I went back into the real estate space. Okay? Now, again, and I have help in that business. Now, in this business, that's my primary business. That's my primary bread and butter. Yes, I'm operating with a skeletal crew right now, but I will be once again expanding my business so I can expand my brand. But you know, the real reason why we should be hiring people and delegating and automating our businesses is to free up our time. Yes, it is to grow and expand our brands and businesses for sure, but it is also, more importantly, or equally as important, it is about buying our time back. I have disassociated myself with people who are fully misaligned with where it is they're trying to go in life because they're unclear, because they are still subscribed to hustle culture. And when I realized that, I know, first off, that I am misaligned with that message, okay? And I am misaligned with those actions that they're taking. So if I don't want my own drama, if I'm not operating from my own trauma, if I'm not inviting in more karma into my life, then why in the hell will I want somebody else's drama, trauma, and karma in my space? So yes, I had to sever those relationships because I realized we're on two different levels and we're in two different lanes and we're reading from two different books entirely. Okay? So when you are crystal clear with who you are and what you want out of life, when you understand that there is an easier, a better way, a more approachable, sustainable, strategic way, and you realize that this is really and truly a systemic issue we're dealing with, then and only then will you back out of, being in relationships with people who ain't about that life. But until then, you're going to probably allow those people to be in your space and to kind of lead you off, astray really and off track. You're going to get derailed from your vision, your mission, your values, because you're not paying attention to the details. You're not really paying attention to what they're saying and what conversations they're having and who they hang around. You're not paying attention to the activities they're doing or the inactions that they're not doing. You're not paying attention to their behaviors. So you think it's a good setup, it's a good deal. But really, what you don't know is that you're dancing with the devils. I know. I told you it wasn't going to be easy to hear this, but it is the truth. Take it or leave it. It is the truth. I know what I'm talking about, okay? I don't come on here talking out the side of my neck. I'm telling it the way it really is. And I want better for you. I want better for you. I truly do. And I want you to want better for yourself. So again, let me know if you're watching this right now. I don't see any questions or comments coming through. But let me know if you are on the replay in the comments. Let me know what you're dealing with right now. Let me know what's hitting home right now. Let me know if you know what's really resonating with you in this message today and what you're going to do differently as a result of hearing my voice and the power of my words today. Because we've got to get in radical action. It's so easy for people to say, oh, I'm ready to level up. I'm leveling up. I'm about to live my best life. New year, new me, and all of this. Do we really mean that? Or is it just words? Are they just words? Just floating in the air? But we don't really know the truth of how we're going to get there. So focus on what works, okay? So what's working is taking one business model to start, okay? Business model in short, to simplify this, if in case you don't know, it's just how you're going to get paid, okay? How are you going to get paid? So whatever it is, whatever type of business model that you have, focus on that first. Get good with that business model. Make your bank. Bring in the coins. Keep the cash flowing. Keep the clients, the prospective clients in your pipeline. Do what you got to do, what you got to do, what you got to do to make that work first. And then when that is coming in and working for you, when you find success in that area with that main income source, then branch off with the things that make sense. So another example using myself would be in my online coaching and consulting business, I also have affiliate marketing. That makes sense for my business model. I sell digital products. That makes sense for my business model. I have group coaching and I have some one-on-one coachings when I'm doing VIP days. That makes sense for my business model, right? I host retreats. That makes sense for my business model. I have a best-selling book working on my second bestseller. That makes sense for my business model. I have courses that are on demand that you could purchase. That makes sense for my business model. So yes, I'm naming all of these income streams from one income source, and I'm branching off of that one thing to related avenues. You see how that works? The real estate business is something separate altogether. But I'm set up in a way where that's also working in my favor. Do you see? You never once heard me say that I'm doing a bunch of side hustles to bring in that same money. No, this is about ease and grace, right? I can't say it enough. So that means what I'm doing makes sense. What I'm doing makes sense because it is fully in alignment with my ultimate goals. You see? So let me know if this is making sense for you. Okay? Let me know if this is making sense for you. And make sure, I'm going to look at my other phone here because I want to make sure that there aren't any, because the chat was going and then it stopped. So I'll have to watch this on playback because one person said that I was muted, no sound, and I don't know how that would be possible. So hopefully I haven't been talking all this time and there's no sound because I see people popping in and out, but I don't see any more questions coming through. So I will definitely watch this on playback. Let me go to my chat here on my phone. I'm not seeing. Drop me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Drop me a thumbs up if you can hear me. If anybody's on here right now, which I don't, it looks like a couple people dropped off. So yeah, most of you dropped off. Okay, so as you come on, hopefully on the replay, I'm going to watch this back too. Hopefully you heard everything that I said. because that would be a shame if not, because this was a really good message. Okay. Let me stop here then by saying I've given you some practical steps already, right? I've given you my speech and my TED Talk for today. If you're ready to trade constant hustling for smart, focused business growth, then drop me a gem below and let me know. Okay. And then I am going to, if you really want, and let me know if you're loving this kind of content, because this is what we're doing over here is we're talking more about how to build an aligned and profitable online brand and business without sacrificing your soul and sanity or compromising your health and happiness. If that sounds good to you, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode whenever I go live, which is every day, Monday through Friday, or whenever I drop a new video. Okay? So I hope this has been helpful to you. Be sure to share this out with at least 3 people you know. And I'm going to watch this on the replay because I see people coming in and then dropping off, and usually people stay a while. So I'm kind of concerned now that for some reason my chat is not, or that you're not able to hear me, and I'm not sure why, because everything looks good on my end. I have my mic on. And so I don't know if that was just somebody that just popped on and is like was trolling the chat for a minute, or if in real life you can't hear me. So, but let me know if this has been helpful. And as always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.